A little bit of an odd week this week, but I have got a special guest, and I know you're all going to like him. And I just wanted to introduce him a little bit before we got rolling here. His name is Johnny Price. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's a home gardener raising, growing vegetables and growing produce just for himself and for his family. His whole family's involved in it. He's got a great YouTube page, Johnny Price, on YouTube. Look it up, where you can see the video of his gardens and everything. And just a good conversation. We got cut short. I had some practice for playing some music, and I had to get out of there, but I would love to have another conversation with him. So sorry for the abrupt ending, but I know you're going to enjoy this conversation I had with Johnny, and just take a listen and enjoy the you can just hear the energy, the passion in his voice when he's talking about it, and just had a fun conversation. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's cue the intro.
Well, I like making food that tastes good, and I don't even mind making food that tastes bad. But if I had to choose, I think I'd pick the former. So if you want to know how to make it a little bit better, but maybe not quite as good as it maybe could be, I think that you should listen to what I'm talking about. And if you learn a little something from this, well, I hope it served a purpose, and hey, that's what we're here for. Good, better. Nailed it! Woo!
Hello, and welcome to the Cook Better podcast. My name is Corey, and I am here today. It's going to be a special day because I have somebody that I'm going to interview kind of and just talk to more. It's not really an interview. It's just two people having a conversation. And this hasn't happened since I've had my brother on. He's been the only other guest I've had on the podcast. But I'm glad that we could finally connect. And that person is Johnny Price. And Johnny, you've got, there's a lot of things we'll get into here shortly, but you've got your own media stuff going on, way more advanced than mine, but Johnny's got a YouTube page as well.
Yeah.
A lot of gardening stuff. That's kind of what this episode is going to be about is vegetable gardening, basically. But I guess before we get going too far, not to make you wait too long, usually this part of the episode can go on for 20 minutes, but I'm going to keep it quick this time so that we can have a real conversation and it's not just me talking in front of you. But I guess let's get into the meals from last week.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if I can direct your attention to the meals from last week.
That was really loud in my ear. Probably in yours too. I apologize for that.
Yeah, this audience is going nuts.
I know, they're pretty crazy in front of a live studio audience. Last week, not the greatest. I'm not going to lie to you. Half, not even half. Oh, I did make half. Mm-hmm. I'm recording this one day earlier than I normally record.
Okay.
So, but I didn't have to draw a line this time. Usually I forget where I left off, but this time I started on a brand new page. So the first night I made some chicken bacon ranch wraps, and I had some homemade potato chips alongside of them. The chicken bacon ranch wraps turned out really good. I made a fried chicken, and I didn't marinate the chicken or brine it in any way ahead of time, which is usually if you're making fried chicken, you'd soak it in the refrigerator overnight with some buttermilk and then maybe some Tabasco sauce, and then I didn't do any of that. I did use chicken breast. I think that's better in a wrap. And for fried chicken wraps, it just kind of goes good. I gotten some good bacon from work, so that was nice. They get a pig every year and give it out to the employees and nice. Just support local youth farmers, 4-H things. and then give it to employees. So I had some good bacon. I just did that on the Blackstone outside because my house smells like bacon and my wife does not appreciate that. So usually do the bacon outside. Sometimes I'll do it in the oven. The coating, I'm not made a good fried chicken coating. I mean, it tasted fine, but for me, I just am not good at making fried chicken. But it tasted good. I seasoned the flour. I think there was flour, some baking soda, baking powder rather, and a bunch of garlic and onion powder and different things. So it had a good flavor to it, salt, some black pepper, but it just wasn't. It's not Popeye's fried chicken, but it was good. Had some. That was first night. The next night we made breakfast burritos. I had some leftover bacon because I did the whole package, didn't use them all the night before. So just another wrap with eggs and cheese, bacon, simple, whatever, reusing stuff. I'm not very good at it all the time of reusing leftovers, or I always have the mindset that I'm going to, and then I look in the refrigerator and it doesn't look appetizing anymore because it's a day old in my mind for some reason. Some people love leftovers, like look forward to them. I'm not that way. So, and then the last episode I talked about how I really don't like a crock pot for anything other than making dips. I decided this week I was going to try something with a crock pot to make an actual meal, and I did that. The next night made some crock pot chicken thighs with rice, and I put the chicken thighs in there, and then I did the cup of rice, and I put some cream of mushroom soup in there, some chicken stock for a little extra liquid to soak up into the rice. And it was a big mushy tan mess. It was not good. The chicken, the reason I don't like crock pot is every time I do something in a crock pot, it's like all one texture. Yeah. So because it sits there for 6 hours and it just cooks in juice. And so you've got steamed or half boiled. I mean, the rice was overcooked and it had the flavor. It had decent flavors in there, but the chicken didn't get browned, because it's in a crock pot. And it just wasn't, it was a mushy pile. The only saving grace is we did get a squash and zucchini out of the garden, which I am terrible at growing things. So I was very happy when I realized there was those out there. And I roasted those. So little olive oil, salt, pepper, and I think that was about it, and roasted them. After that, next night, did some pizza. There's a local pizza place, Three Brothers, we haven't had in probably 2 years.
That's my favorite.
Oh, they're so good. We got the deluxe, and there is more toppings on that pizza. They got a good tasting sauce, so good. And then I think that pizza is like a 10 out of 10 for me. It was really good. They don't have a BLT pizza, and my daughter wanted a BLT pizza, but they did have a taco pizza, so we got that one. I wouldn't get it again, personally. It was kind of tacos on a pizza is a weird combination, but the deluxe was really good. And then the next night we ate the leftovers, so that's 2 nights worth of pizza. And then last night, nothing special, some macaroni and cheese. So 3 of 6, I actually made something.
Like you made the macaroni and cheese or Kraft macaroni and cheese box?
Kind of Velveeta and Kraft teamed up. Yeah, it was out of a box. It was...
I like the Velveeta. You can't, the shells and cheese type thing.
Yes,
they
were good.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, and that sauce, I mean, it tastes good. It's just like, this was the bacon one. We had picked up so it has like little bacon bits in it, and they kind of have the flavor of bacon, but it's not.
We just made mac and cheese for the kids yesterday. It's so easy. They love it with it.
I love it still. I love macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, but so I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
Just steer the conversation. No. One thing we're trying to do for this summer, at least, is try not to eat as much. Just try to eat meat and vegetables.
Yep.
So, like we got another month. We said we're gonna try to do like no carbs and no, like we're not eating macaroni and cheese, for example. Kayla and I.
Oh, okay.
But it's really hard. Like we have to do 2 boxes for the kids, and it's like there's more in sitting in the pot. It's really hard for me not to.
I just grab a big
yeah.
spoonful. Well, and for people that don't know you, your wife makes what, like 150 loaves of bread a week that she sells at the market. So not eating carbs seems very,
it's
very
difficult.
You're surrounded by carbs all the time.
And it's not just bread. It's cheese bagels, everything bagels, raspberry, white chocolate, bread,
goodness.
All this stuff,
that Kayla's
jalapeno
making.
cheddar.
Yeah.
And it's like what? Yeah.
Perfect. Well, maybe, yeah, I don't know. It seems like if you're making it all the time, maybe it'd be a little easier to not just kind of almost, I'm sick of it. I've been making it, but when you're smelling it, I've walked in your house a couple of times, and we're on location at Johnny's house, by the way.
I haven't got there yet with being sick of it.
No, not sick of it yet. No, I don't blame you. Anytime I walk in, you walk anywhere, even in the grocery store, and I don't know if it's even really cooking bread or just got a candle lit somewhere that smells like bread, but yeah, that just always smells good. Something about baked bread. But that's pretty impressive. So you've been doing that or succeeding in that so far all summer?
Well, so we started. We're gonna go for 60 days hard, and that's like the most we've ever done if we can do it. So I did have some. So I cheated yesterday, actually, for the first time. We're going to go till September 1st, and it is late July, almost August right now.
August, yeah.
So we're halfway through, but I did cheat yesterday because we made salsa from our garden, and I really wanted to try it.
Oh, with some chips.
So I did put it on chips, and we did try it on salad. I put it on salad, like last week and stuff like that. But I'm like, I gotta dip a chip in this stuff.
Salsa's made to go with chips, but well, that's very impressive. I've thought about doing something similar to that and just haven't pulled the trigger. I love ideas of things, but the execution is where I have problems. But if it helps with both of you on board with that. So just somebody else going through misery.
Well, I was going to say actually about your crock pot thing. When I think of crock pots now, I listen to Dave Ramsey a lot, and he is a big fan of crock pots because it's like you start your day, and if you put something in there, by the time you get done with work and you're tired and you're busy and you got stuff and you don't feel like cooking, they're like I can't remember what he calls it, but it's like a hedge against, let's order out.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because it's there and it's going to be there waiting for you when you're done or whatever.
It's like this, I know I'm going to eat tonight.
Right.
It's like this long-term mentality instead of instant gratification.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of like this thing where we have everything at our fingertips, sometimes the same day with Amazon. It's nuts. Or the next morning. And it's like we're just trained for instant gratification, which is, I think, a great thing in a sense, but it's like, there are ways you can abuse it, and it's like,
sure,
because everybody's fighting for your attention then.
Yeah.
Even, I've never done DoorDash, honestly.
I haven't either.
But I don't know how these people do it because it's so expensive.
Well, yeah, it's insane the amount of money and the time to, I don't know. For me, like even to cook a mediocre meal, the time you spend is that half hour you're waiting for DoorDash to show up. You could have made something. Granted, you have to have those ingredients in your house for whatever. I mean, but
so we're just trying to stay disciplined, and it's like Dave Ramsey also says, I'm not like whatever, but he also says Christmas comes every year in December, and we don't save for it, kind of thing. So it's like we're not thinking about Christmas in April unless you're Ryan Kimmel,
an insane person,
but like people that love Christmas, basically. But it's like, we know we're going to eat, kind of thing. We know we're going to go, even us. It's like we know we're going to go, we can even look at the year and be like, we know we're going to use a jar of pasta sauce a week or 2 jars of pasta sauce a week. Like, that's actually kind of the last couple of years where we started, it's just kind of like, well, we know we're going to eat food every day.
Yep. So that makes, it all makes sense. So, the reason I wanted to talk with Johnny is because he's got a beautiful garden, and this is just audio only, so you'll have to just imagine. Or you can go to his YouTube page, what's your It's just Johnny
It's
Price,
just my
right?
name, yeah. It's
Johnny.
not.
Yeah. Well, the stuff. Yeah, that's okay. But he does have videos of his garden, and you've interviewed quite a few people on their gardens, and I think that it's really neat. Just your garden, and I wanted to talk through it because I'm terrible at gardening. My mom had one when I was growing up, a beautiful garden. I love fresh vegetables. I appreciate that people grow stuff, but I guess for me, I just wanted to talk to you because I'm not a person to talk to about gardening, and that's and fresh produce is such a critical thing in cooking good food. You want fresh produce. And honestly, I don't like going to the grocery store half the time because the tomatoes are mealy and white and hard, and a lot of stuff is picked across the country or out of country and shipped. It's just not so I like the local aspect of a market. But when you're talking backyard, it doesn't get much more local than that. But
right.
So you started your garden a couple of years ago, but why did you, I think you covered it a little bit, but what made you want to do a garden?
So it's funny. I don't know, honestly. I think the reasons I keep doing it aren't the reasons I started. Okay. But my first job was at the greenhouse. The greenhouse, the local greenhouse in town in high school. Went to work there after school. I did that for a few years. So I was always around some of that stuff, and then got into actually had another job working with flowers and stuff. But when we moved into our first house in town, I did patio pots. I had like 6 or 8 patio pots and gardened in that on the deck. Yep. And that was a lot of fun. So we always had kind of a garden in some sense. And then when we built this house, I would say the reason why I did it, it's like, so when you build a house, you have the excavator will take the topsoil and put it in a mound, unless they take it from you and sell it back to you. But we had a good excavator, and he let us keep our topsoil. And so before I spread that back across my yard myself and did the grade, while I did that, I was like, I should put in some garden boxes out here, some raised beds. And why I did raised beds is because we have heavy clay, and I tried to dig. Every time I tried to dig, it was hard to dig.
Yeah, so getting stuck to your shovel.
So it's either, you have to wait till it rains a bunch. Like right now, it's raining, off and on for a couple of days. You could go dig, but it is literally like potting digging. Clay.
Yeah,
and it gets slippery and slimy if there's no grass, or it's rock solid if it's dry. So It's like, I don't know what I'm doing anyway. I might as well try these to build some garden beds. So I did. And then when I spread the topsoil, this is a long story. I'm going to try to be more concise.
No, we got time.
Going on. Well, I just basically spread the topsoil and I filled the garden beds while I was doing it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, cool. And then it was like June 1st, and I went to the greenhouse that I worked at growing up and bought a bunch of plants. I think we spent like $150 on plant starts. And I filled 4x8 beds with plants. And it was June 1st, and like I'm saying that now because like it's kind of like a hobby, something I've always done in a sense.
Sure.
But I had known nothing. Actually, I didn't even like tomatoes.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah, because I've only had them from the store. Well,
well.
But I like pasta sauce, and it's like, if you're gonna grow a garden, you gotta put tomatoes, right?
That's what everybody who doesn't like tomatoes likes ketchup and pizza sauce.
So that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we got the garden boxes. I started it myself and bought plants to put in it, and I'd say like half of the things or more died because I had no idea what I was doing.
Yep.
And
that was
tomatoes did great.
That was 4x8 raised beds.
One whole bed. I put lettuce and carrots and some peppers or whatever, and that whole bed died. The potatoes did fine, but not great. The onions didn't do good at all. And then I did one whole bed of beans. So those are the tomatoes worked and the beans worked. It's pretty easy stuff, right? So that's why I say like half of it died.
Sure.
Just because I didn't know what I was doing, and it's so easy with YouTube now. It's like, why did you could like, carrots. And then you find a couple trustworthy, easy to learn from people that say, try this. And then you try that and it works basically.
And there's a lot of good.
And then you're like, oh, wow, this is fun.
Well, and we're
problem solving.
We're in Michigan, and there's even, I don't know about other states if you're in New Hampshire or whatever, if you can, but even on YouTube, there's a few, like it's M.I. Gardner or whatever.
Yeah,
and
he's great.
There's a lot of, seems like, I don't know if it's just Michigan or if you're in Ohio or something, you can find it too, but even people that do it for a living that can in your climate, our climate, kind of explain things, which is helpful. We're not getting somebody from Texas telling us.
And I follow people, like there's a guy I really like from North Carolina and there's a guy I like from Texas, but you can't really, you have to, kind of adapt it for your growing season. And the cool thing about even growing the growing season is we base vegetable gardening on, it doesn't matter what zone you're in. It just matters like the frost dates and the hottest temperature kind of thing.
Okay.
So like it doesn't really matter what zone you're in. You can still grow just between your frost dates.
Okay. So
like there's a lot of things that do well in hotter weather and cooler weather, but you can kind of time those accordingly. But if we're talking flowers or perennials, then, perennial is not going to, a zone 8 perennial is not going to come back in zone 4 or 5 or anything but zone 8 or, so it's like those things you have to really look at it. But it's pretty cool that gardening, a lot of stuff I do anyway is annual anyway. So it's like if something likes to be hotter, even in Michigan or northern Michigan, you just grow it in a hothouse or a greenhouse,
Okay.
Or if it likes to be cooler, you can still grow it in Texas. You just put shade cloth on it, So, so it's hard to say what's going to work in Texas is going to work up here. You do have to adapt it. A little bit.
It could work. You just got to change the method maybe of growing or whatever's what.
But after that, it started as kind of like why did that not work?
Sure.
And I'm kind of like a problem solving mind. So I'm like, why? Or just can't stop thinking about why the onions didn't work.
Well, you got an investment. I mean, you invested a lot of, even if the initial cost isn't there, you invested a lot of time. And I'm the same way with the corn that I'm growing. I've got whatever, that's a whole different story. But when it looks like it's doing well, and then all of a sudden you go out there one day and what happened? Yeah. And so then you're like, man, I had a lot of time and pride invested in what I'm doing. And that makes.
But past that, like you start solving little problems and then things work and it's kind of rewarding. But the problem is you can't. The thing I realized the first or second year, it's like, oh, okay, by the time I figured out the problem or thought I had something I wanted to try, I had to wait till next year.
Right.
So I've been doing it for 4 years here. And it's like, I had to try again next year.
Right.
So take good notes and even,
Yeah, because you think, oh, I'm definitely going to remember that.
Yeah. But anyway, not that I take good notes, but little things to keep in mind, even if they're mental notes. But aside from just being curious about how things work and then applying that to vegetables, or vegetable plants, the different ones, like you start harvesting the food and it's kind of like this mind-blowing thing. So it started as like it's something I've always done. It turned into, wait a second, why didn't that work? Like, can I do it better? And then it kind of morphed into like, wait a second, this food is amazing. I like tomatoes actually.
Yeah, sure.
And these tomatoes taste good. These potatoes taste like nothing I've had before. Like, wait, lettuce is good. It's not, doesn't go brown or soggy after a couple days in the, so, I'm just like carrots. I love carrots now. From the
there's such a huge difference with and I didn't think carrots are a weird one because I always knew, but I never grew until you have a garden fresh carrot. You don't know because I didn't know that. Yeah. I always knew a garden tomato was always much better. And but I didn't know that about any of fresh garden vegetable is going to be better than the stuff that we get at the grocery store, unless you get a locally sourced grocery whatever.
Yeah.
But just the sweetness, it's hard to describe a carrot in their
they're actually sweet. The ones.
Yeah, I think it's just hard to explain the difference in flavor. It's just so much more intense, and it all depends. And then it varies based on what variety you get of each individual.
Right. Yeah, it's a whole big
vegetable
world.
too. Yeah. So you started this 2 years ago. You started with a few raised beds, but now you've got this. I mean, how many beds do you have out there now? Do you know? You've got to have close to 10, 12 beds at least. And you got a greenhouse, some corn.
Yeah.
And, but that's a lot of, so that, like, when I garden.
20. I got 20. I just
20 beds.
Yeah.
That's a big jump in 2 years, 2 or 3 years or whatever.
5X or whatever that math is.
That's crazy. But,
it was, so I did start in 2021, so I don't know how many years that is.
4 years-ish,
yeah,
3-4.
I think this is our 4th season.
But, and it's,
here.
So why did you go from 4 beds to 20 beds?
Well,
in a greenhouse.
Once you figure out how to do it, it's like, man, if I'm going to grow potatoes, I might as well grow a whole thing of potatoes,
Not just so you can, like, can you store them or save them?
So I did like 1 8-foot row of potatoes, and that was like enough for like
couple meals.
2 or 3 meals for us the first year. And I was like, oh, that was
good eating for those 2 or 3 meals.
Yeah, for a week.
Yeah.
Or like you said, you go out and get a couple zucchini or whatever. I mean, when you start looking at, oh man, all this, you start so you start looking at growing space. Well, that's what we're talking about, growing space. And whether we're doing raised beds, I'm just doing the raised beds because I'm trying to control the soil. I'm trying to have a well-draining soil that I can define and I can like weed whack up to, so I'm not standing in dirt
and not throwing as much lawn clippings into the plant area.
So like it's there's conveniences, but the reality is, you start. I remember like when I first started, I'd be driving down the road and I'd look around at all this, like we're standing and sitting on this earth that's like just, you could grow stuff anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, so it just blows my mind. It went to taste, but then it just blows my mind that like, wait, you can just, I don't know why I never thought about it, but like the crop, the cornfields and it's all just growing space,
Right.
And you
Something's
can
gonna grow there.
a lot of corn to feed a giant 500-pound cow or a whole barn of them. And it's like, wait, I can grow like enough tomato products, pasta sauce, pizza sauce, and tomato soup for a whole year just with my little garden.
Sure.
And it's like, wait a second. And we have for 2 years now, we've grown our own tomato products.
Okay.
And we've been trying to, so as it expands, we've been trying to, this year we're going to try to grow our own onions for the year. And that gets a little tricky because we're trying to store them. And I'll show you in a minute, but we're trying to just make them last longer. Because the onions we grew last year, we only grew enough to go into the pasta sauce.
Okay.
Onions and garlic were just for that recipe.
Sure.
But now we're trying to grow some to store and actually store and cure them correctly so that they last hopefully 6-7 months, some of them.
Yeah.
Well,
and that just in theory, just a cool, dry place you have to just keep those.
So harvesting them at the right time, and then, when they start to form the paper. I mean, we don't have to. And I don't really know. I'm also a disclaimer. I'm not like an expert at this stuff. Right. I do have learned some stuff, and I'm willing to share. But like, I'm not trying to teach anybody. I'm just like trying to say what I've learned. Like, because I'll say last year we had a couple bags that we didn't go into pasta sauce, and I think it's like, one rotten apple theory or thing where they started rotting because we didn't dry them correctly. So now I'm trying to dry them correctly.
Yep.
And certain varieties store longer.
Okay.
So you can look into that too. It's growing. It started from, I didn't know what I was doing. Just, I'll put it in a backyard garden. And it's like, this actually tastes good. And then now it's like, wait, I can grow and preserve my own food. And it's cheaper once you have the infrastructure.
Right. That's
the
biggest thing is that initial investment in
it's not on demand.
Right.
You have to plan it. It's a
right, because you had said, when we talked earlier, you told me that you're starting, the bulk of your plants anyway are starting from seed. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Unless you want to try a specific variety that, I still go shop for fun for, look at that pepper, I'll try that one.
Yeah, sure.
But for the most part, in fact, this year, all my growing space, I didn't even grow broccoli this year. Last year we grew broccoli, it was great. But we ate it so fast. It's like I would need a whole field of broccoli to supply us with broccoli. It's just easier to buy frozen broccoli and have it on demand versus broccoli. And I'll probably do it someday, but I just need more growing space.
Yeah.
But and it's a cool weather crop also, so it's something you can start early and fall out with something, and then do again in the fall.
Okay.
But but I'm not doing any brassicas in general this year because
and that's broccoli, cauliflower.
Cabbage, cauliflower. I think kohlrabi, but I've never grown that. And I don't know
what that is.
What it is. Brussels sprouts.
Ooh, I love
those.
Brussels
are so
sprouts.
good.
Those are my favorite. But
they're
not going to store for. You can't. You're not storing.
No,
Brussels
you have to
sprouts.
blanch and freeze.
Right.
Freeze them.
I don't know if I've ever had a frozen Brussels sprout, but it doesn't sound.
Yeah,
have you
I
had
don't
them?
know. Frozen, yeah. You just got to roast them pretty good.
Right.
Broil
Get all
them.
the moisture out.
Yeah, but trying to learn. Anyway, I'm trying to grow only what we eat.
Sure.
No funny business.
Right.
There's a couple things that
not trying mangoes.
I'm not trying to experiment with this or that for the most part. I'm just trying to grow food.
Well, yeah, onions go in everything. Tomatoes go in everything. And carrots. You've got the makings of a, and I know you hunt too, and so you're talking a good roast dinner or with carrots and onions and potatoes and that makes sense to grow. It is fun to try to grow something like I've done the potting thing. I just haven't dedicated the time to do a garden, and I love that talking to people that do it. It's something that I'm not good at, and I would have to learn a lot too. But also to me, I get in my head that I'm thinking I just gotta set aside some funds to do that initial thing because I know raised bed. For me, I have the opposite issue you have. You have clay.
Yeah.
I've got like pure sand.
Okay.
So my issue is that everything just drains out and there's not like nitrogen of any kind or anything.
Right.
Now corn likes the sandier soil or loamy soil, whatever it is. But and I've got other excuses why I don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about clay. If you look at our grass, it's always green.
Right.
Even if it's a drought, it holds water so well. And I think that I've never done it on anything else, but I'd prefer clay and then try to control it on top of the clay.
Sure.
Than have sand, because sand, we were just in Nevada earlier this year. It's like,
we were
nothing grows
in Arizona, and
it's a
look
desert.
at all the brown.
Yeah.
Then you come back to Michigan, it's like, oh my goodness, everything's green here.
Yeah.
It's weird getting off the plane. But
because I thought, what would my garden look like if I live here? Like I could grow peppers like crazy, and it's like, well,
you better like
but I wouldn't have
peppers.
any water to put them.
Yeah. Well, I did a little bit of a deep dive, and actually we had gone to the Grand Canyon and we floated down, did a whitewater rafting trip down, and then after the whitewater, we're just floating, and we have a guide there from the Wallapai tribe, the Native American tribe that kind of runs a certain area on their reservation. But I had asked him because we had at that time been there for a full week, and I want to talk. I don't know, food. I always like to talk to people about what they eat and what they do with food because we all got to eat. It's, so it's fun conversation for me, but I don't know if it is for everybody I talk to. But I asked him, I said, so what do you grow around here? Because where we're from, we've got good soil and everything. So how do you grow corn?
Yeah.
I know the Native American people
Good question.
Are, at least in my mind, I don't know right or wrong. I know maize, is corn, and that's the Native American people grew corn, and I don't know, heard stories about the first Thanksgiving and all that stuff. And he said they do this Three Sisters method, which is a mound system, but it's got squash, I think pole beans, and corn, and the squash protects the roots so they don't get the other two plants don't get burned, and one of them adds nitrogen back into the soil, and then the corn growing provides a little bit of shade for the stuff. So people figure it out, and it's pretty amazing. And you can grow. So I think of that, and I'm like, I don't really have an excuse. My soil's a little sandy. I can't grow in it. But it's just learning. And I did the pot system too, and then same with herbs. I love herbs. I use them all the time in cooking, and so I was like, I got to grow my own herbs. But I don't know what my problem is. And so now I've just buy herbs because really I use parsley and cilantro, maybe a little mint, and I can just buy when I go to the grocery store or anywhere, if it's a market, whatever, I just buy a bunch, and they're cheap. They're like $1. So that one, but.
When you talk about the three sisters, it's like it gets me so excited because it looks like it's like a puzzle. So so like you have corn. Corn is corn. It's got a stalk, and the pole bean needs something to climb.
Yep.
And a pole bean is a legume that adds nitrogen in the soil. Corn loves nitrogen. It's like a grass almost.
Oh yeah.
And then the squash will grow along the ground and, like you said, shade with their big leaves, keep weed pressure down from sunlight. And it's like, it doesn't, none of the root systems compete with each other. They actually work together. So it's like, wow, that's a very creative way to solve how those plants, so companion planting, and you don't need 3 separate acres, to grow all squash,
they can
all
grow
beans,
together.
In a sense. So it's like, that's what I like about raised beds too, is if you read a seed packet, they want you to put like one squash plant, 3 feet apart and in 3-foot rows. So like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm putting them like 16 inches apart, and I'm growing them up. I'm just tying them to a pole as they grow.
Okay.
And I'm adding compost and making sure I'm controlling the moisture so that they're not competing for resources. So it's like it's like high intensity spacing that I can it's almost like a little laboratory.
Yeah. You ran a ladder for some, I don't remember if it was, and you've got string that comes up to encourage things to grow up.
Yeah.
More than out. Well, it also helps support the plant too. For tomatoes, they like to topple over, especially
it's
if
just a vine.
Yeah. So it needs somewhere to go, but
I'm doing that, but also I have, the funny thing is some people say like, oh, I can't grow anything. Well, some of it is like, you have to take it step at a time. Like if you came and looked at my garden, I'm not trying to, some people come and look at my garden, I'll say it this way, and they're like, how do you maintain all this? Well, it's like, it's step at a time. You come out and do a little bit every day or every other day, or maybe a big project on the weekend or whatever. So it's like, I didn't plan all that at once. I planted, one bed August, 2 beds last August, and they overwintered.
Okay.
That was 2. Now I had to worry about 18 beds. And then I planted lettuce, and then I planted carrots, and like weeks apart even.
It wasn't
and then you
3 days, 24-hour stretch.
Yeah, 3 of the beds are potatoes. So you put them in, and it's 90 to 110 days. You don't got to touch the beds. So it's like, it's not as you can't do it all in one day. It's a step at a time. But also, it's like, what I was going to say is, sometimes we put so much emphasis on trying to grow something. It's like, but I could take you around, and this year I have probably like 30 tomato plants that are just volunteers.
Oh, wow.
I just let them go, and I've pulled.
And by volunteer, you mean a
They
plant
came
where the
back
seed just dropped on the ground and grew on its own. You didn't plant it.
So the 2 beds of peppers I have, they're 20 foot long by 30 inches wide.
Okay.
And I seeded jalapeno peppers inside and transplanted them out there. Well, there's some space between them. Well, those are the tomato beds last year, and they're just full of tomato plants. I'm just like, well, I'll see what happens. I'm not trellising them. I'm not even watering them that much because peppers don't need a lot of water.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if they want to grow, they want to grow.
Right.
kind of thing. So once you get started, it's like, we'll get tomatoes off that plant.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really
plan
do
for
anything.
it. Yeah.
You know,
It's amazing that the whole thing, the way it all works and how it's life will find a way in a weird, like you said, the whole earth, something's going to grow there. It's going to be weeds, or it's going to, utilize the space for something that can nourish us or whatever. But that's amazing when you start to see. I even think of that with flowers, and that's what this year I've got fruit trees, and they're not doing the greatest. I mean, they're growing not at the rate I would like them to or whatever. But this year I just scattered a ton of wildflower seeds, just because the back half of my property is all, I just let go. Almost, I want it to be like a meadow, like a flower meadow, because we get a lot of butterflies because of the milkweed that was already growing on the property. Anyway, but we got a lot and dragonflies like that too. And so I planted a bunch because I want these pollinators to stick around, and it's and it's less that I got to mow. That's another part. But I think the flowers and all that, I don't know. It's just, but to what you were saying, it's crazy how something will come back and the frustrating part, not really frustrating, but the crazy part to me about that is I've gone and bought, like, from the greenhouse 12-inch tall or 16-inch tall tomato plants, and then they die 2 weeks later because of something I did. But then you just let it go, and then you get these volunteer plants that just pop up on their own in the same. So you can do as much as you can, but so just because. So what do you do? You make pasta? Excuse me. So what are some of the things you make the tomato sauce and stuff? Is that, I guess, what do you can then? It
kind of changes based on what we're trying. For sure, pasta sauce, tomato soup.
Okay.
Is just a different way to process it. Tomato soup we've canned, and
does
we've
that
even
as well.
frozen that too.
Yep.
In Ziplocs, or so we'll put just tomato soup. Campbell's tomato soup is just like it's not even the same food.
No,
is what we're talking about here. But I don't want to sound snobby, but this is good.
Yeah.
And so we were growing garlic too. So I'll give you some of this stuff before you leave.
Yeah, I forgot about the garlic, but is that just going into the soup then, or
this year we'll have a lot more to cook with because we have been buying it for culinary garlic.
Okay.
Just from the store, and last year all of our garlic went into pasta sauce. But pizza sauce, we're gonna do a lot more of this year. I don't even know if we did any. Kayla's mom did the pizza sauce that we have, and we still have. But it's a really good recipe. It might even be the Three Brothers recipe. Because my cousin, or Kayla's cousin, used to work there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's...
Might know the combination.
Yeah, he used to work there for like 10 years or something.
The secret herbs and spices.
Yeah, and so it's like that recipe.
Yeah.
And so it's really good.
Huh.
Anyway, but... it changes every year. Like we're growing a lot less cucumbers this year because we still have pickles from last year. We didn't even eat them all.
Yep.
And just bread and butter pickles.
Okay.
The spear pickles would I think we didn't do as many of, and they don't last as long as you think. They get kind of mushy.
Okay,
But it kind of depends, and we always do, even outside our garden, we always do applesauce for the whole year. Apple cider we still have from last fall, because we have some apple trees in the family.
Okay.
That we process. Aside from canning, There's some special recipes that we do, like cowboy candy, like basically like a jalapenos and a sugary syrup kind of thing.
Yep.
That's good on anything. Sandwiches, hot dogs.
Yeah, it's
salads.
like spicy relish, basically.
Yeah.
Sweet dill, and then like jalapeno.
But then we freeze a lot of things too. So like carrots will last a long time in the fridge.
Okay.
So we don't even do anything with those. We just put them in the fridge and eat them.
Oh, no kidding.
And then the bigger ones last longer in the fridge. So we try to keep that in mind too. But then green beans, we just threw out our green beans from last year because we're getting them this year. So we grow green beans for the whole year. And we eat those a couple times a week. We store them in quart bags. And we don't even blanch them.
You don't can those?
We don't can them. We just freeze them. Yeah, we clean them and snip the, get them ready to throw in the pan. Basically,
without blanching them or anything, just right in the freezer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we always fry them. So I don't really know how else you'd
boil them or steam them.
Yeah, we never boil them or steam them. It's always pan fried with olive oil and salt and pepper.
Oh yeah. Everything, any vegetable with olive oil, salt, and pepper.
That's why I was kind of excited to do this because it's like you're like, what? Cook. I'm listening to you to know how to cook better. Yeah, we grow some of our own food, especially, this is harvest season, but it's like all we do is throw it in a pan and cook it until it's black. That's all I got. I've actually learned some stuff from your podcast, and I'm like, I'm not trying to teach people how to cook better.
No, but
we're definitely eating good.
Oh yeah.
It's like so stir fry is its own thing, I would say.
Yep.
Pan fry, stir fry. So throw all our vegetables in the pan, put it over rice or even put chicken in it or Italian sausage or Polish sausage or whatever it is, kielbasa. And or we roast it in the oven. We'll put like a parchment paper on a baking sheet and just whatever we have. Potatoes, squash, carrots, snap peas, radishes. We'll just slice them. Tomatoes even, slice them, throw them in there. You could put that on anything too. So it's like we never get sick of that because the mixture of what's ready is this time of year is always different.
Yep.
And we eat it and it's the best thing we've ever eaten every time because it's just and there's also this satisfaction.
Oh yeah.
That you have to talk to it. That's why I do it now. It started and it's changed into different things. It's why I do it now. It's like growing your own food. It's like so even my faith, like, God, I believe that God created the world, created us. And, if you read the story of Adam and Eve, he says, he puts Adam and Eve in a garden and he says, this is yours to steward and, grow and multiply and have dominion over it and subdue the earth. It's like man has the power to plant a seed and reap a harvest and take out a plant that he doesn't want in a certain spot, a weed or whatever. He can cultivate and work on this stuff, and he gets to participate in how like God provides for him the basic, human need of needing nourishment for our bodies. So like I can't make the thing grow. I don't even like I said with the volunteers, sometimes like a couple years ago, I killed all my tomato seedlings. I had to start over. And it's like, wait, they're growing by themselves.
Right.
It's like,
I shouldn't have gotten away.
I'm like trying to start them in March with like a grow light and a heat mat. And it's like, but they're growing on their own without my help. So it's like, it's a cool thing to participate in, to be able to go out and, it's crazy. It's like it's like, oh, what are we eating tonight? We don't know. We buy chicken. We don't grow our own chicken yet. I'd like to look into that. We have chickens for eggs.
So you get eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we have chicken, or sometimes not. Sometimes it's just vegetables, and I don't always like to do that because meat's good for you too. But like it's like, okay, what vegetables are we gonna put with this chicken? And maybe we'll put it on rice and maybe not. But like you just go get what's ready.
Right.
And it's just,
what's going to be on the table
It blows my
tonight.
mind every time. I'm like, what am I doing right now? I just went out and got dinner.
Right. Went out back. Yep.
And there's ways that we can, grow even in how we prepare it, which is like probably what you're more interested in. but I'm not that creative with food, like cooking, which is why I like your podcast, because you've even said a couple things that I'm like talking out loud to myself while I'm listening to your. I'm like, oh, that would be. I'm actually probably talking more during your podcast than I am.
Right.
Than the first part. Just like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Oh yeah, chicken bacon ranch burritos. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wonder, do you have to do fried chicken? Yeah. Anyway, but
you don't have to do fried chicken. I just, like I said, I don't always cook the healthiest of meals. I just try to get more whole ingredients. And so that's one of the other side things of having your own garden is you get to choose what you use for. Like, do you? I mean, I know, like, what do you do? Do you use any, and this doesn't matter, like I said, and you're not preaching at anybody if you don't, but do you use any kind of pesticides or fertilizers or
no?
What do you, oh, hold on.
Is it going?
Yep, we're still going.
Yeah, I don't. There are some organic that I've looked into because, like, just the other night I went out. So for just one pest, we got to deal with is the tomato hornworm.
Oh, okay.
I'm
those get some big, ugly. Yeah. Those are big, fat, juicy ones.
I got some pictures on I was going to actually make a video about it on my YouTube channel, but I got like 30 or 40 of them last 2 nights ago because they glow in the dark with a black light.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really fun. So you go out there with a black light flashlight that I got on Amazon, and like you can just shine and they glow, and you just pick them. I gave them to the chickens, but
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's like sustainable farming.
I could spray them, but they. And it's a constant battle. I'm not like against, because there's even organic ways to do pest control,
right?
Even outside sprays. But like what I'm trying to do is like, okay, like you said, get creative. They're like, for example, some like the Japanese beetles are horrible right now,
right?
But they love the first year. Like I said, the failure year for me was like aphids ate all my peppers. So aphids came, they ate all the peppers. Japanese beetles come, they eat all the green beans. It's like, well, through some research and seeing what other people try, they love basil. So I grow a ton of basil. I scatter it out my garden. I probably got like 40 or 50 plants. The Japanese beetles love it. They go and they eat all the basil.
Leave the other stuff alone.
Leave the other stuff alone. Aphids will eat cosmos, salvia, basil, too. So basil is like a solution. In a sense, it doesn't compete much with anything.
Right.
I plug it in where even plants die and stuff like that. I just always grow it for the first couple months and plug it in wherever. So that's a way to do it. It's
distraction.
It's supposed to do, so the tomato hornworm that I was talking about, the moth will come during the night and lay the eggs.
Okay.
And they smell the tomato plants. It's supposed to throw off their scent a little bit if you plant basil in there, but I haven't experienced that. I have basil, with my tomatoes.
That does have a strong scent to it, but it doesn't. Yeah. I don't know if but
interesting it's concept. Not so far, but I just go pick them off.
Right.
And then like cucumber beetles are another one. They'll destroy all my cucumber plants, but you just plant more in succession.
Okay.
Yep. That's the cool thing about, there's a dozen different ways to do this stuff.
Sure.
I guess also like, that's what's cool. There's like 6, right ways to do it. And you kind of define your own right. Do I want 100%, maximum yields from each and every plant?
Right.
Or do I want to plant like, 30% more plants, and if a couple die, no waste. Big deal. And if I could plant some in succession a couple weeks later if those die or whatever. So it's like there's different ways to do it. I know our friend Brandon, he grows way different than I do some things just because he has a market. He brings vegetables to the market. So he has certain varieties that he likes that are high producers, and he starts in harvest different ways. It's like I'm trying to grow like 12 lettuce plants for my whole family. I'm not trying to supply lettuce to the whole community.
Using it as income.
Yeah.
And
like the whole town of Wayland sells at the farmer's market can come buy lettuce every Saturday. Like that's a different growing method.
Right.
So it's hard because some people will be like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, well, sometimes it's like, well, what's your schedule like? How much
Right.
time do you want to
Yeah.
spend on this stuff? I mean, you can grow tomatoes and not touch them and still get a bunch of tomatoes. Or
Right.
you can grow tomatoes and baby them and trellis them and make them look nice and get a few more. But is it worth I don't know.
Right. Well, you almost get to a point where either you're just like, I've only ever grown just enough for a few meals, but you almost have to either grow enough to make it just for a few meals or grow enough to do what you're doing, which I think is the other end of the spectrum in a way, as long as you're not trying to sell it for profit. And that's too, I
was just looking at the date.
Oh, and just to get, to be able to can it and make sauce and everything like that, because somewhere in the middle, then you just end up with a whole bunch of waste. But at the same time, it's, I don't know. I think it's, I appreciate the conversation because it's just so much better to eat. It's better for your body, these fresh vegetables right off the plant. And if you can do it without using pesticides and stuff, great. That's awesome tip for distraction.
You have zucchini plants.
I got squash and tomato.
Okay. Squash.
And
what kind of squash? Like winter squash?
Yeah.
Like butternut or?
It's not butternut. It's more bright yellow. It's
like a summer squash, like a crooked
it's a
neck.
summer squash. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So those are a little bit more pest resistant to the squash vine borer. Like even that variety, like zucchini, the crooked neck squash, for example. You read a book or whatever,
right?
And it's like, oh, that's one solution. You could spray your zucchini plants
or
with
get one
7 or whatever, or an expensive organic one, or you could like the
use
crooked neck ones. The squash vine borer doesn't like them.
Oh, huh.
Or you could do a few crooked neck ones and then a zucchini one a long ways away, and then make that one the sacrifice plant or whatever.
Right.
So
right.
And fun fact, some people are like, oh, it takes too much time or whatever. But last year I planted my summer squash 3 successions, and the last one I did was September 1st.
Wow.
And I still got a bunch of squash.
No kidding.
So, and it's July 30th right now. So we got 2 more months, August, September, of growing left.
Right.
This is like when you get burnt out on your garden, you just let it go because the weeds are out of control and it's hot and things don't look good. But there's still a good 2 months left, if not more. I think our last frost day is October 15th.
Okay.
September 5th? I can't remember.
October sounds close.
Yeah. So, October. And then, if you're unfamiliar, fall gardening is
a thing.
Is a thing.
Yeah.
And it's a actually sometimes preferred time to garden because you're starting seeds when it's warm, and especially the low the plants that like the lower temperatures.
Right. Lettuces.
They thrive in September, late September, October.
Yeah.
Here.
No,
brassicas.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having a conversation with me, Johnny, because this is all stuff that I don't have a lot of knowledge in. And when you say like, even with the soups, I've done like, you can do a red pepper soup is really good, or a carrot. That's a lot of time they serve it cold or whatever, but you can do it hot. And so there's so many things that you can take all this produce and make it good, good food. And I think the thing, like you're saying, even just salt, pepper, and olive oil, that's so simple. But even like you get a good steak, and a lot of people say you don't need to cover up the flavor if you have a good steak. And I think the same thing with a good vegetable, you don't need to cover it up with extra things. Now there's things you can do like the onions. Immediately I think of French onion soup. I think it might be my favorite soup.
Okay.
But then you just caramelize the onions down, and then a little. You have to be able to eat carbs because you're supposed to. You put a little cheese on it and a piece of toasted bread and do. But just eating them that way, I mean, is still. I mean, you talk about that's the best way, most healthy way to eat the food is closest to fresh as you can get. But we're out of time for today. We've got spots we got to go, and I would love to have another conversation sometime. I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy this. We just sat here and talked and just threw it out, and it's been an hour. So, I hope you like this episode. Check out Johnny on it's Johnny Price on YouTube.
Yeah, I think.
you can find him. You can see the garden we're talking about and some of the stuff he does. It's really interesting to see. And he interviews other gardeners as well that do other vegetables. So, let me know if you want, we want to have another conversation. I'm sure we could keep going for 3 more hours, and maybe we will another time. But I appreciate you being on. So, thanks again. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And I will talk to you next time.